I'm not yet dead, and welcome back to, well, No Man's Land. So, I say welcome back to, actually I don't know why I did that, it's because I'm currently playing on this map. So this is No Man's Land, sort of take two reboot. It's a second look, if you like, not a first look, but a second look, and there's good reason for that. If you're not familiar with No Man's Land already, I'll just run through it. It's recently been re-released on the Mod Hub, actually on Friday. Yesterday, as I'm recording, I don't know when I'll get the video out, but you know, in the last few days. And No Man's Land is a large stretch of land right next to a very busy road that no, you can't access, but it is quite cool. And you start here, and you start right next to a very mucky, very well used pickup truck that's just come through the gate of No Man's Land. And this is a map by the very lovely Alien Jim. And as always maps, there's a bit of something different to it. So the basic premise is it's a massive patch of land that's basically been forgotten. It's No Man's Land. It's unused. And it's your job to do with it as you wish. And so we can get some of that from looking at the map. So there you go, set up into 60 separate grids, and you start with just one. We're on New Farmer, so you do start with one. And as you can see, there's not a lot else on the map really. There's one field here, there's one house, farmhouse, and there's a silo. There are a few other bits we'll have a look at in a minute. And I've done this before, this is not new. I don't want to spend ages just talking about, you know, going around the map and everything else, but I do want to cover some of it, because if you're new to the map, this is still relevant, right? So you start with this 26 here, and we start here with our little van pickup, and you start next to what is the store, right? So the store is here. It's a pretty impressive building. There's a service point, a sell point in there, and a couple of purchase points in there. The animal dealer is around there. There's a fuel station, you know, well, fuel station, a sort of filler thing, pump just there. And there's actually a buy anything point here, so a silo you can buy stuff from, and a sell point here. That's it. The rest of the map is completely, it's trees and rocks. So we'll just jump in the pickup. I'm going to do this very quickly, because actually the point of this is not to look at the map. The map, to all intents and purposes, hasn't changed. Jim's had a few updates on it out over time, just to fix a few bugs, and there was a few floating trees were fixed on this one as well, but that's not really why we're looking at this. But I do want to point this out. There's a lot of trees on this map. They're all over the place. There's little clumps of them all. You can see them, right? So there's a little clump over there, there's a little clump here, they're all over the place, just random pockets of trees and odd trees here and there. There's also a lot of rocks. If you want to, you can cut this signpost down and all of your trees will disappear. Trust me, I know what that looks like, because it happened in my save game once, and I'm now on take 2 of my No Man's Land. Or you can cut this one down and all the rocks will disappear. It does say, doesn't include the rocks or trees at the edge of the map, but basically anything that you would otherwise be able to cut down, they will, or you know, that is in your control, they will cut. So that's that. I say that's that, I mean that's a pretty big thing, right? So all of these trees you can disappear, and it makes an incredible difference to the map. You start with a little placeable area just there. Then there's this sort of mud track. It's actually fascinating coming back on here. I've been playing this for, I must have done about 60 hours on this map. So to come and look at it completely bare and plain, and as Alien Jim intended, or at least started it out. Yeah, so that's it. There's one track going all the way up to your farm, the farm, I suppose. And to be honest, that's about it. So a few things you start with, right? So there's a bale store there with a few bales in it. There's a little lake there with a few bits around it. We'll look at those in a little bit more detail. There's your sort of workshop. There's a wood chipper over there with some logs in front of it. There's your silo there. all of these, they're all, everything you see is a you know, has been created specifically for the map by Alien Jim, including the shed, the fence, the privy, the smallest room, and the hut, which is, it's fair to say, in a bit of a state. So, and this is how the map was when we started it the last time. There's also one field, rather weedy, in a bit of a state, needs some work. And then, so there's your workshop. It's got a little door. So I don't want to spend too long doing this because you may already be familiar with the map. Light comes on. There's your silo. There's your wood chipper here, which is a direct sell wood chipper. It's on all the time. It just sits there and runs. In a bit of a state, but it'll earn you some good money. There's a water tower for filling up your water tanks, which you have to open to use. And then there's a few little things around this lake. So there's this sort of, I don't know, hunting spot thing. There's a thing over there, and you know, a few little placeables just make it look nice. Then there's the lake. Then there's the bale sell point. I told you there's a few rocks. You can get rid of these rocks should you so desire. That's about it. Oh, the other thing to mention actually is if we just come down here. So this is it. It's, you know, other than that, it's grass and plants and weeds and trees and grass. Really, grass everywhere. Grass and trees. But if we come just out to the edge of the, if I can find the right place somewhere. Oh my goodness, I can't see it from here. Here it is. Down there, I think. Am I in the right place? Yes. There's a track. You can just about see the difference in texture. So there's a grass here which is a bit thinner, a bit of brown underneath, and the grass here which is normal grass. And so there are tracks all over the map, and if we look on the map you can actually see them. So there is this network of tracks, but when you start off they're completely covered in grass. So you can, if you want, you know, you can mow the grass and keep it mowed, or you can retexture it with something else, or you can put your own tracks in completely separately elsewhere. It really is a map for you to do as you wish. It's flat map-esque, but you've got a starting point. It really has, and it has a sense of place and its own presence, and you know, it feels like somewhere that could exist. It's not just greenery, you know. But that's not really what I'm here to talk about. That's the basic of the map, and there's loads of people I know are absolutely loving playing on it, myself included. The point being, there's loads of mods, placeables. You can paint, you can retexture, you can, you know, landscape to your heart's content. There's just, you know, and the other key thing to point out, if we go in, so I've already got a bunch of equipment, and we're only at 200 slots. We're only at 200 slots. Well, now, alright, there's not a lot on it, but there's everything you need to start your farm. You've got a modicum of fairly old equipment. We'll go through some of this in a minute. So you start with a Fendt, which already has 41 hours on the clock, but you've got a Fendt Favourite, you've got a New Holland TX32, you've got the Lizard pickup, Agroliner TKD 302, you've got a Strautmann Sec 802, so you've got two trailers already. TX32 header, the Agromash PH5, the Rail Polymag, Stara Ceres Master. There's all your vehicles. So you've got basics to get you going. And then all the placeables. So you've got the grain silo. These are all AJ Tech. These are all Alien Jim's own mods, and that's kind of what we're here to talk about. So these are the ones you start with. Grain silo, the old rundown shelter, the old bale shelter, the wood crusher direct sell point, the vehicle workshop, water station, the fence, which is just outside the house, the outlook point that's around the lake, the hunting hut that's around the lake, the broken watermill, which actually we just walked past, that's just a picture, that's just to look at, the wooden outhouse, which you really don't want to go into, believe me, the old farmhouse, and that's it. But you know, there's already quite a lot of stuff on it, and you've still got 203 slots spare. Now you'll notice this is new farmer, but I've got a balance of 3.9 million euros. I cheated those in, right? I used the government subsidy sign to get that money in because we have a few things to do. And the reason that we are looking at this map again is because Alien Jim has just re-released it with around, I think it's 50 extra placeables. So even more things to make this place your own. And so what I thought it was worth doing, because it massively expands what you can do with it without even having to download any more extra mods or anything like that. So, sorry, wrong window. What we'll do is we'll buy some areas of flat land. So you've got, like I said, 60 of these. Each one is worth 85,000. Yep, buy that. Yep, buy that. We'll buy that. I probably overdid how much money I needed actually. I'm just going to buy loads and loads of what I think is pretty flat area. Okay, so we've bought ourselves a block. I mean, there's plenty more, but you know, these three here are pretty flat, so that's where we'll focus. We didn't need anywhere near that much money, did we? So I'll tell you what, let's jump into the pickup a second. So the point being that because all these are placeables, you could just sell them. Buy vehicle workshop. You know, you could just sell all this stuff and it's gone. You know, you could, I mean, you could come on as, you know, I haven't looked, but as farm manager or start from scratch, maybe it's not all there, but even if it is, you can just sell it and it's gone. And actually, if you sell this stuff, look, you're already down to 196 slots. I mean, it's ludicrous. It's very easy to get that slot count to go up, and I think he has decreased the slot count, but I'm not sure mine's changed on my save. I'm still up at about 800 slots, but I've got a lot of stuff on it already. So let's go back out to where I just bought some really flat land. Oh, actually no, there was one thing, so we will start here actually, because I don't want to spend hours driving around. We will start here, very importantly, because one of the mods that we've got, sorry, I'm just going to spin through these because I don't want to talk about them too much just yet, is this one, the rowing boat. It's a rowing boat, you say, but if you notice, I'm trying to adjust the position of that and I can't change the height. I can change it, I can rotate it, I usually can, all that sort of stuff, but I can't L1 up and down, nothing, because it floats. But the reason it floats is because it goes on the water. How genius is that? Because it's the right height for the depth of the lake. Does it say that? It might even say that, to be honest. He did say, I mentioned it to him the other day, and he did say, oh, you need to look at the thing. Let's have a look. Decking replaced on map water, yeah. So that, and that's the other thing to mention as well. Underneath the ground, through the whole of the map, where it's flat at this level area, is water. It's all water underneath. So if you want to create your own lakes, create your own rivers, you know, whatever, there's water straight underneath. All you have to do is do a bit of landscaping to uncover it. Right. So the original map, when it came out, did have some placeables, right? There's a load of selling points, a load of buildings, a load of all sorts of stuff, but Jim has just gone to the extra level, and I just felt it was worth highlighting it. I just felt it was worth another look, another come on and just go through it, play about with it, and just, you know, make people aware, to be honest. So we'll start up here. We'll start with animal pens. So you've got all the basic game ones all the way to here. Anything AJ Tech. In fact, we could actually just look at, actually that'd be the easiest way to do it. We could just look at AJ Tech, but it's useful to know where they all are. AJ Tech, chicken coop. Ooh, not there. We could put it there, but that'd be weird. So let's try and leave a load of space. Right. Place that. Cow pasture. Pig enclosure. I wasn't going to do pigs on this map, I might change my mind. I've also just placed another chicken coop. I'm a little bit annoyed about that, literally. It's fine, I'll need more chickens. So that's those. I'm going to place them and then we'll look around. Otherwise, I'll keep popping that. So we're into miscellaneous. What we got? So the lemon greenhouse and the tomato greenhouse, they were already on the map. These are pretty cool though, so worth a look. I'm not going to do both. Sawmill was in the original. I haven't even looked at this yet because I haven't got around to putting it on my map. And some night lights, which are rather nice. You rotate. And we should actually, I should have looked. So each of these, so let's see, if I go into the garage then, so let's just check, I should have done this as we're going along. So a sawmill requires 4 slots. The wood crusher direct sell point only needs 2 slots. The lemon greenhouse needs 3 slots. The water station needs a slot. The old nightlight needs a slot. I mean, none of these things. The boat takes a slot. The farmhouse takes 3 slots. Where are the animal pastures that I just placed? Chicken coop 5 slots, sheep pasture 4 slots, pig enclosure is high at 7 slots, but still 5 slots for the cow pasture. I mean, they're not high slot counts. Slots not relevant if you're on PC, it's a console thing. Straw barn 3 slots. Spinnery, that's a 6 slots. The watermill generates money. We can put it, it's quite nice. Decorative object, water station, well, we've already looked at that. Windmill is quite nice, that was on the original. So the watermill and the windmill were on the original map, as was actually the spinnery, the hay barn and the wood sell point thing, you know what I mean. Wood chips sell point, that was in the original. The wood crusher direct sell point we've just seen. Vehicle workshop we've just seen. Now this, I got confused about this the other day. I hadn't realised that Missy B had put this in. And you get a slurry yard from Missy B on the map. This is on the map. I've not added any more mods. This is just all in the map. The only mod I've added in is the government sign. That one, the government subsidy. Okay. Now we're on to miscellaneous. Then we go into silos. These are all standard in game. So there's a small BGA. BGA digestate extension tank. Grain silo we've seen. The grain silo extension. There's a liquid storage, 300,000 litres for water, milk, digestate, and slurry. Oops, what am I doing? Sorry. Oh yeah, what's a silo take? Just crops. It's just a crop silo. And if your 300,000 isn't quite enough, you can have an extension tank. Which, wow, okay, so you can't put it anywhere, but you don't need it right next to your tanks either. So it's got a fair range. And of course you can put several of those if you want. Then we've got the sell points. So Jim's categorised these. There's a sweet shop, a windmill, and you'll notice each one takes different crops. So they've been sweet shop, windmill, bakery, just to indicate the sort of things they sell. Dairy's just eggs and milk, that kind of stuff. The bakery takes eggs and milk, and some of those other crops. So there's multiple places, multiple things that they each take depending on the nature of the sell point. A root crop sell point, including sugarcane, and the garden centre. So that there's each of those, and they're just each one of those is just a flat sell point. Really, you can just about change the height. And then we'll have a quick look at sheds before we get into decoration. So the old bale shelter we've seen, the old rundown shelter we've seen, and there's a warehouse. Only takes 2 slots. It's only 2 slots. Now admittedly, of course, you can only use these at this point in time. I don't know if Jim's got plans to do anything else with them. At this point in time, they're only available on this map, of course. And then you get your farmhouses, and Jim's put in his farmhouse doormat, so you can use that with any house you like. You've got the standard in-game sort of German style farmhouse from Felsborough. Then you've got two versions of Jim's farmhouse. So the shack that we've already seen, or this, a new and rather neat and nicer one. Find only one item allowed per farm. Okay, so we'll need to sell the other one that we just had a look at. So let's just go. This could take a minute. I'd forgotten about that. So I'll sell that. Back in farmhouses and place the nice pretty new one. Okay. The only other thing left then is decoration. And again, it's sort of based, it's not based on Felsborough, but you've got all of the things that you get with Felsborough. So there's the sandcastle, the farm barn, the farm garage, farm storage shelter, which is quite a nice little shelter. And then you go into AJ Tech. And there's a lot of things, and I'll be honest, I don't remember exactly which ones were in the original and which ones weren't. There's a beach tent. There's no beach, but there's a beach tent. There's a factory building, which was in the original map, because I've got that already on mine. There's a castle ruin, and it's huge. Do I not have that piece of land? Okay. Well, we'll put it in the middle. Actually, no, let's not put it in the middle of the road. That's just weird. Can we not? There we go. Fence. We don't need. We've seen some of the fence back. So there's fence times 1 times 10 times 5. So you just I mean, 2 slots. That says 1 because we've already got 1, but that's 2 slots as well. 2 slots. I mean, 2 slots. Firewood stack large. Medium. And small. And covered. A folding bench and table. A garden centre. So some of these buildings, so like the garden centre, the factory over there, these are, they sort of go with some of the sell points. The factory not specifically, but conceivably, right. Garden metal shed, right. Hedges. Okay, I'll put down a section of hedge, but there's a hedge times 1, there's a hedge times 3. I thought there was another one. Oh no, they're not. Then some houses. Again, it's 1 slot for a house. I mean, seriously. So, if you didn't fancy Jim's shack, put a house down and use the doormat. I mean, just... And there's a lot of houses. Oh, sorry, where do we get up to? No, we put that one. The old red brick house. The hunting hut we've seen. We should have a look at it really. You can go inside it. It's got a light inside the works. Pile of logs. They're just decorative items really. I mean, but... And again, there are a couple of slots. So, some houses from Mercury Farms. He's added these in too. Just a bit of variety to the ones that he designed for this map. Office block, big building, fairly big building. The outlook, that was already on the edge of the lake, and again, you can walk up it, there's a door, you can turn the light on, there's a couple of deck chairs to look across the lake. Plastic table set. Box. They're just decorative items, these are in the original map. So there's a few different ones, so you can just place those around and just landscape with them. The rowboat we've already seen. Garden shed blue. I don't need to replace. There's a few of these. There's a green. There's a brown one. There's a green one. There's a grey one. There's a tan one. A wooden shed small. Wooden shed medium. Wooden shed large. Oops. Oh no, wrong button. I didn't want to do that. I mean, to be honest, I don't know. Do I need to do this? You could just download it. Ooh, silo bin is a decorative object. Which actually, I think that was on the original map, and actually I hadn't used that yet, but that could go next to some of your sell points. I mean, could do. You could just have it on your farm as a decorative object. A couple of different office buildings. And again, these are One slot. One slot. Look at that, for one slot. Parking lines. I'm just going to place those for a minute. We'll look at those in a minute. And then this. The genius of Alien Gym. Parked vehicles. Make sure that's nicely lined up. Each one slot. I'm not going to place all of them, we're all day. It's 5, 6, and they're 750 euros, dollars, pounds. Park tipper truck, actually that is quite cool. That's worth placing. Parked excavator. Old junk tractor. Old manure trailer. Old junk harvester. And he's not kidding. Old junk pickup truck. I'm not going to place all of these, there's loads of them because there's several variations of fuel truck. It looks like something, a snow runner. There's a fuel truck, an old bus, you know, and then we've got these cargo containers. So you can either have them as just a static object or have it openable. Various colours. Broken watermill, that was on the original map. That we've already got one of those down at the main farm. A wooden table set. The wooden outhouse we've already seen. Some pallets. Another wood stack. Ah, this is but plain, you know, sort of finished wood. That's it. I say that's it. I mean, my goodness me. So go in the garage. And look, I mean, you know, seriously. Sawmill. Fully functioning. Sell point. Only 4 slots. A spinnery. A sell point. Only 2 slots. The direct animated wood crusher. Only 2 slots. Straw barn. 3 slots. Seems weird. And you can sell loose or bales. A wood chip sell point, only 1 slot. Windmill, only 1 slot. Lemon greenhouse, 3 slots. Bit more interaction. It's like all the greenhouses, you have to add water and manure to get your maximum yield, etc. £1,000 an hour, I'm on easy. That's why that's quite high. Watermill, only a slot. The slurry yard from Missy B, 2 slots. I mean, you know, most of these are 1 slot, right? These are slightly higher, but still, 3 or 4 slots. I mean, it's nothing. Garden centre for 1 slot. All of these buildings are 1 slot. 2 slots. Not sure why that's, I suppose, the text to me. The castle. A whole castle ruin. It's only a slot. So the park tipper truck's a bit more expensive at 4 slots. But most things, pretty low. Anyway, enough of that. We just take a look for a minute, actually. We can zoom out. And this isn't even everything, you know, I did skip over a few, but this is most things that you can place to build up your map, make it your own, relatively cheaply, minimal slot count. I mean, what are we at now? If I come out, go into there. We're still only at 315 slots. So, there's a lemon greenhouse. Manure in there, water in there. I'm not going to, you know, you don't need me to tell you where everything is. I just thought we'd come and have a look. I just figured it was worth coming to see. I'm confused already which animal building this was. Ah, right, so this is the cow pasture. Okay, water trough, food trough, because there's the milk tank. Not sure where you put straw. There is another trigger for something in here, but I don't know what. I think that's the straw actually looking, yeah, that's the texture look. So straw in there, animal dialogue box, there. Let's have a cow. Hello, cow. Over here. And the milk. Ah, the milk rush for the automatic milking machine. Genius. Ah, so that's the milk trigger. There we go. Doors open, of course. There's quite a few of those all around the building. It's a nice building, actually. I really like that. Slurry. Slightly different sort of slurry looking point. Manure. Here's a chicken coop. Again. Buy, sell, I'm assuming. Oh no, that's the eggs. Buy, sell here. So a couple of chickens. Pottering about. I'm assuming that's where the egg boxes go. Here's your food point. Done. This one's the pigs, clearly. A few pig arcs. I mean, you know, low on slot count, but not low on detail. Not low on detail at all. There's even a rip in that tarpaulin. A couple of them. All a bit messy and mucky over here, so straw in there. Buy sell point here. Awesome. Feed trough. Water trough. I'll finish off the animal buildings anyway. And again, they've all got these doors. There's quite a few of these on it. Open that. So that must be where your wool spawns then in that case. Assuming that opens, is it? Yep. Because in here through this door will be your buy, sell, unload, you know, point. Yep, which actually would make sense, because if you're going to unload your truck, you would back it into here up to this point. That's what you'd normally do. And again, of course, you can open the sliding door like so. Lovely buildings. Ooh, there's a light switch. There's a light. Has it got a light switch, or are they automatic? Not sure. I don't see a switch. I mean, the farmhouse has a light switch. I don't see a switch on here, so maybe these are automatic. Not 100% sure. But yeah, look amazing. Right, what's next? Is this the sawmill? I mean, you know, there's detail, there's stuff going on. They're not just empty buildings, and there's still only a couple of slots. You can walk around them. There's your sell point. Can't quite get through. Again, no lights. I'm assuming these will be automatic. I don't see a light switch anywhere. Either the lights on some of the buildings around the farm are automatic, but the internal one to the house isn't. So, yeah, these are probably automatic. Oh, and then right next to it, amazingly enough, we've got our finished wood, which is quite a nice little detail. Various different sizes, different types of wood. Looks a little blocky in the texture, but actually no, from above it looks fine. I mean, look at that little table to sit down on. While away the hours. So this is the openable container. That's a good sound. Nice sound. Does it open at both ends? Oh, it does. Genius. And then this one's just a decorative one. Then you've got the office block. It's just amazing. It's astounding. It's also partly for me to just take a look at some of this stuff. The pallets, which I'm assuming are, yeah, they are fixed. But again, though, you know, that could be a nice little thing to have it. You know, maybe next to the sheep pasture, so you know, it's like what you put your extra pallets, you put your bales of wool on or something. Old tractor, rundown tractor. Parked excavator. Looks pretty cool. The old manure spreader, muck spreader. The wrecked combine, and wrecked it very, very much is. And the pickup. Oh, look at that. That's amazing. The dump truck. Wow. And then you've got these parking lines and cars to park in them. Not sure why one wouldn't park at the end. Might because it's hedging? I don't know. But you have these little bollards at the end of each one, so you've got something to line up to and you don't go hit whatever's beyond. But of course the other thing about that is once that's down, or even before you put it down, whichever you prefer, you can come along. Oh, we need to talk about textures actually. So again, it's stuck on that car, isn't it? That's fine. I'm not doing it particularly neatly, but you know, you get the idea. And all of a sudden you really have converted it into a car park. It's just so effective. So good. And then we got, what's this? There's small offices, a couple of different small, oh no, that's the sweet shop, which goes with one of the sell points you could use if you want to. Offices, a couple of different ones. Then you've got these are the Mercury Farms buildings, so yeah, these do need a little more slots. Let's look at the blinds, curtains in the windows. Wow. And again, if you wanted to, that could be your farmhouse. You just put the doormat outside. Thought we could try that, couldn't we? Oh no, not yet, because I still want to look at the new farmhouse. And then beyond it, these are the log piles. My goodness me. Then these are the houses that came with the map originally. That's a little bit dark, but on the other side it looks alright. Brick one, stone one. Stone one's lovely. Right, what are we not seeing? Oh right, yes, the wooden shed. Does it open? No, it's just static. That's a nice little object. I think that's the smallest one. Goodness, these are big. Again, I'm assuming on that light might come on at night though. This one's huge. Wowzers. Oh, look at the little round window up in the house. There's the silo bin. Some rocks here in the undergrowth. Look how nicely they're placed, fitting in amongst all the undergrowth. Stacks of wood we've seen. I'm starting to get really confused now. Right, so there's a plastic table and chairs with a parasol. That's quite nice. A little bit of shade. This is the garden centre. And again, there's a garden centre sell point, so if you wanted to, you could match the two together, but you don't have to. So this is manure, slurry and digestate sell point. This is amazing. And again, only a few slots. Then you've got the spinnery for your cotton or your wool. Sell point, I don't think it opens up. Again, I think it does have a light. Am I remembering that right? It's have a light that comes on at night. Actually, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. I can't remember. But you could always put, for a couple of slots, you could put a light down. Here's your BGA, which by the way processes remarkably quickly, because I've used that on my map. And the digestate overflow tank, so I think the standard BGA's only got, I think it might be 100,000 litres, this one's 200,000 expansion. Then you've got your liquid silos and the liquid silo expansion tanks. Simple but useful mod. There's your sell point. Say there's a number of these depending on what you want to sell at them. And of course as soon as it's placed, oh, I should have switched autosave off, sorry, that's my fault. As soon as it's placed, so we've got the biogas plant, that's now got price, and actually the biogas plant takes potatoes and sugar beet. Wow, they're good prices too. I am on easy, by the way, only because I need the money to generate from the government signs. Slightly weird that it's got milk and water, but and the silage price is crazy on easy, So good. But also you've got obviously the slurry yard we looked at, the spinnery. Wow, look at that digestate price. Spinnery, the straw barn, we've placed that. Vehicle shop grains is the standard one on map. Windmill and wood chips. So the windmill, okay, so the windmill isn't the windmill there, it's the windmill sell point. So this sell point we placed is clearly the windmill sell point. That, to all intents and purposes, is just a decorative object. It's just coincidence that I have to place that one right near the windmill. What else have we got? Ah, so this is the new farmhouse. Oh wow, Jim. Good grief, yeah, I think I should be upgrading my farmhouse. That's amazing. Certainly looks a little more hospitable than the one we've got now, which is, it's fair to say, a little bit dishevelled. Yep, so again, still a light switch inside. Coat hooks in your jacket, your boots when you're done your day's work. Fully kitted out kitchen. Coffee maker, very important. Little table and chairs. Nice little picture there. Slippers under the bed. Slightly more inviting bed than the last one. And a rather more inviting bath, which appears to have some water in it. Oh, a ladder, which you can climb up. That's quite funny too. Hang on, which you can climb up. Can you get into the loft? Surely not. That would be hilarious. No. Okay. But very good touch though. Nice. Your beach tent, if you really wanted to. Protect you from the sun. What have we not done yet? Oh, the wood, the log piles. Small one with cover, small one without cover, medium one, large one. So if you want to keep your wood somewhere for winter, there you go. Here are the houses. Actually, so we could. So if I go garage, just test the theory. Sell that. Place farmhouses. The farmhouse doormat. Let's find which house are we nearby. This one. I rather like this stone house. This would make me a fine house. Positioning it isn't easy to get it dead right, but equally it doesn't have to be outside a house. It could be, you know, wherever you like, really. You could live in your car. That there. Oh, and it's spot on. Look at that. I'm not tired. Okay, that's debatable, but all right. Now what else we got? That rock was there to start with. So the factory, which is huge, and loads of detail. I mean, look at the brick. Loads of detail. Lights, windows. There's only a couple of slots. And this, good grief. Oh well, can't open the door. How can I open the door? What's going on? Is there a button somewhere? Haha, there's a button. Whoa. Wow, it's cavernous. Lights? Ah, that sounds familiar. Nice. That's a nice touch though, I like that. And then fuse box, okay. And the skylight. Oh wow. Oh, that's very cool. Nice work, Jim. It's funny, this was on the map originally and I've never played with this yet. That's brilliant. Look at the rivets on the iron girders, on the steel girders or whatever they are. Nice wooden roof, lots of lights, massive roller. Sorry, massive roller door. It's been a busy weekend. Trying to get cut off by it. That's very cool. And then finally, have we Oh no, we haven't quite covered everything else, have we? Here we go. The garden shed. Can't quite get. Yeah, you can. Thought you could. If you want a metal one, on the wooden one. Where's the wooden one? I did place it somewhere. Oh, here it is. Can you open the door? No. Simple little wooden shed. The folding bench table thing. But you sit down. Have your supper. Yeah, we've seen all that, seen the house. Right. And then the castle. Now, places with a sort of flattened texture, grass texture, but that's easily fixed. You can clamber through it, explore to your heart's content, and it is huge. It's massive. All the original stone, few odd windows here and there. Can you get in that one? No. Again, masses of detail ways in. Walls to climb over that you're not supposed to climb over. I've been to enough castles, I know the drill. Fantastic. I mean, just, you know, it's a decorative object. Put it somewhere on your map, just in the distance, you know. The other thing I haven't pointed out, actually, and again, I don't remember if I covered this in my original. So talking about landscaping, right? So we already landscaped. So I'm just going to change that. So change the ground type. So you've got some of this, I say standard stuff. I don't landscape on a lot of my maps, so I don't know. But there's this one, the sort of, it's a flat sort of forest floor texture. Then there's a sort of forest floor texture with grass. I've no idea if that's in game stand or not. Haven't got a clue. Then you've got growing grass. Then you've got sort of muddy, thin growing grass. That's a bit like what's on the roads. Then you can have flowers. And you can start to, you know, make some interesting shapes. Pink flowers, white flowers, and this one, bushes. You can paint on bushes. And if you started to put some around your castle, that could start to look pretty effective quite quickly. Just to soften it up a little bit, make it feel a little bit more natural part of the landscape. I mean, make it huge, you know. Like that. And then you'll find that's probably growing on the other side. I think that's all that's the ones that I've noticed as being potentially unusual anyway. Then you've got your sort of gravel texture and rock and, you know, all the sort of more standard type stuff. Browns, dirts of various types, sands, wet sands, very wet texture, sort of mottled wet texture, you know, all the stuff. That's more sort of standard stuff, but paintable bushes, paintable flowers. Amazing. So that was it, really. I mean, you know, the map is the map. And it's great. I love it. You know, this may not be for you. You may not want a map where you have to, you know, think about placing objects. You might just want a map where you just drop in and play it. Or if you fancy, if you like those sort of in-betweeny maps where you can play it, but you can also build it a little bit. Give it a go. I'm loving this map. You know, I'm still developing new placeables and areas and mixing things together with not only Jim's mods but also you know, the mods that I found out there as well. I'm building up areas and building up a map as if it was, you know, and at some point it may not be quite as detailed as a map maker's map, because I will start to get short on slots, but I will have a fully playable map with loads of sell points, with fields, hedges, trees, bushes, placeable items, you know, everything. And Jim has provided most of that and the basis of the map to do it. So there you go, that was all it was. I just thought, you know, you might overlook it unsell away. It's just an update. But this is not just an update. This is a new way of playing the game. I'm not going to use the Mr. CDP game changer, but it kind of is. Shh. It's just a new way to play the game. Make your own map, 100%. And most of what you need to do it is right here. Explore the other mods as well. Add to it. Really tailor it to your own personal taste. But you know, if you think you're interested in doing it, give it a go. Trust me, it's well worth it. That was it. I just thought I'd share that. Just, you know, I didn't want the update to be bypassed. I think it adds masses more to the game, and it is incredible the amount of stuff that is now in this map. So yeah, if you think it interests you, take a look. No Man's Land by Alien Jim. And that's it. That was all. I'll get off my soapbox. I'll get on this tractor, this excavator instead, and we'll try and get a decent viewpoint. There we go. That's a pretty good viewpoint. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Found it interesting. Given you some thought, maybe, you know. If you did, likes and subscriptions are very much appreciated. And yeah, if you're interested in, there's quite a few people now building on No Man's Land doing, and everyone's doing it differently, and that's what's fascinating about it. I've got my own, I'm doing a series on No Man's Land, and I do a mix of play, mostly streamed, and actually a mix of time-lapse videos where I'm, you know, each one focuses on one or two, you know, me building an element of the map. I'm just doing it as I go along. I'm earning the money from the farming that I'm doing, and then using that money to buy new plots of land and building it. I'm just doing it slowly. Other people have built the whole thing out and then just started playing on it. Again, you know, that's up to you, right? Depends how you want to do it. But yeah, that's all. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.